Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're all doing well as I always do. Welcome to the preview of West Ham's 18th home game of the 21-22 Premier League season, where we begrudgingly welcome Arsenal to the London Stadium for our last London derby of the season, Sunday afternoon, 4:30 kickoff, live on Sky Sports. As always, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor, 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, where you can purchase some really nice retro gear and also some Arsenal gear as well, as you can see from the icon that's up here. Any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, I'll be sending directly on to Iron Supporting Food Banks, the charity in the Newham area that are helping those in the Newham area to literally have food on their tables. So guys, go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt. Depending on what you're purchasing, you'll be saving between 5 and 15 quid in comparison to your club shop, and also you'll be helping those that are less fortunate than you and I. So as always guys, let's start off by talking about the referee. Unfortunately, we have Mike Dean. This is a real shame. I was hoping we weren't going to get him at any point for the remainder of the season, but it's London Derby, it's Sky Sports, it's Sunday. Who else is it going to be? His assistants are Ian Hewson and Darren Cann. The fourth official is Simon Hooper. On VAR, we have Darren England, and his assistant is Matthew Wilkes. So, to be honest with you guys, as we know, this time round he is properly supposed to be retiring. So, as irritating as Mike Dean has been over the seasons, thank you very much for everything you've done, Mike. You've made some great decisions. You made some fucking abysmal decisions at the same point, but you can't beat his longevity, and, you know, you have to respect that. When we played Arsenal at the Emirates in mid-December, we lost 2-0 with second half goals from Martinelli on the 48th minute and Smith Rowe on the 87th. So, as it seems to be, and we'll find out, we'll talk about this again in a little bit while, in that game and the majority of the season, it's the juniors that are helping Arsenal be where they are with under Mikel Arteta's guidance. So, you know, from that point of view, it's very good. I mean, we gave Arsenal a very good game away from home. We really did. You know, being 0-0 at Arsenal in the Emirates, and in the run that we were having, was a fantastic result. But obviously, as we say, losing it 2-0, not the best results. But it's just progression. It's progression. Our last 6 home games against Arsenal show we've won 1, drawn 3 and lost 2. So there's a good chance we could get at least a point out of this. David Moyes has faced Arsenal at home as a manager 17 times in the Premier League, winning 4, drawing 6 and losing 7. So again, even he seems to know how to get 9 times out of 10 at least a point here and there. Arsenal are 4th in the table with 8 points ahead of us with a game in hand, winning 19, drawing 3 and losing 11, scoring 52 goals and conceding 40, so they're on a plus 12 goal difference. To me, ever since they seem to be on a really decent resurgence since January, since they got rid of Aubameyang. I know that's quite controversial for a lot of people's opinions, but that's personally mine. I mean, their away form shows that they've won 8, drawn 1 and lost 7, scoring 24 goals and conceding 25, so minus 1 goal difference on the road so far. They've picked up an average of points per game of 1.56. They've won 3 of their last 5 away games, only losing to Southampton and Palace in that 5 games. So again, Arsenal going back to how the Arsenal that we know and begrudgingly respect. They've scored an average of 1.65 goals per game and conceded an average of 1.56. So here and there, their match goal difference is a 3.06 on average, so I still feel both teams can score. Obviously, of the last 16 away games they've played, they've kept an average of just over 6 clean sheets and failed to score in 6 games as well. Their average possession rate away from home, which is really matters to the Gooners. Apparently, possession is everything. Is 51%. After all, this is the fan base that has nicked our Super David Moyes song. So you can't always listen to what those idiots are talking about. On average, they've taken 13.69 shots per game and converted 1.5 of those shots. They've committed an average of 9.56 fouls per game and conceded 9.63. They are more likely to score in the first half than they are in the second. Their go-to formation so far this season with Arteta is a 4-2-3-1, which I'm sure Arteta is going to do again for this fixture. Their highest goal scorer away from home in all competitions is a personal favourite of mine. I think he's an absolutely decent talent, is Bukayo Saka, or Bukayo, however you pronounce it. Saka with 6 goals and 2 assists, who's currently 50% chance of returning for this fixture due to his thigh injury. I know that Fantasy League says he's 75% chance, but PremierInjuries.com show he's 50% chance to return for this fixture due to the thigh injury that he picked up against Man U in that victory. What a game that was, and what a game the Arsenal game was against Chelsea as well, for that matter. 2 very, very entertaining games. He's followed very, very closely by Smith Rowe on 5 goals and no assists, and their highest assister, which is a big, big surprise, is Alexander Lacazette with 5 assists and 1 goal. Should be the other way round, bearing in mind he's a centre forward stroke attacking midfielder, depending which way you look at it. But Lacazette is followed very closely by Odegaard on 4 goals and 4 assists. PremierInjuries.com show long-term injuries on top of Saka to Tierney with a knee injury, and also Partey to a thigh injury as well. So, it's, other than those guys, 2 very, very important players that are out for the longer term for Arsenal, but they are still kicking it. They really are kicking it on. Now, guys, over the last 4 weeks, we've had 3,600 views, and only 10 people have subscribed over the last 4 weeks. If you haven't already done so, go over and check Riley's Patreon introduction video. Very nice to speak to him. Over the last 4 weeks, just under 52% of viewers, just over 1,800 are coming from those that are not subscribed. So come on, guys. We've had 2,500 unique viewers. We've had 1 more subscriber today. Thank you very much, my boss. We were talking about it and you subscribed to the channel. So thank you very much, Rob. But guys, come on. We can get this channel to 2,100. We're on 2,064 at the time of this recording. So come on, guys. It's not really that much to ask you. 36 viewers. Come on, click, and hit that notification bell as well, for that matter, so you get to know when new content is going up. Now, turning to West Ham, of course, as we know, Dawson is suspended for this game due to a red card originally rightly made as a yellow by Oliver against Chelsea last Sunday. I never thought I'd ever defend Michael Oliver, because he is a very, very good referee. He can be so much better, but he seems to be fitting in with the crowd rather than standing out as a decent referee. But in my opinion, Stockley Park did not assess the following criteria correctly when it came to the Dawson incident. Number 1, was there sufficient distance between the incident and the goal? Yes. As the incident started well outside the box. Okay, there's an argument that because Dawson put his arm out very, very quickly, as we talked about previously, that's probably the reason why. But having said that, point number 2, does the foul player have control of the ball? Yes, he does. Lukaku was 100% in control of that. What are the positions of the defender or defenders and players of the opposition of the opposing team, aka the team that the player is running to? Creswell is running in to help, so Dawson is not the last man. And number 4, is the ball going towards or away from goal? Replays show it's going towards, so not all of the criteria is met to have him sent off. Unlike Creswell's in the home quarter final, as that was going away from goal, so again, that isn't a sending off. But it doesn't seem from the pre-match conference today that David Moyes has done that the club have appealed that decision, and we haven't seen any rumblings about that through anyone else as well, for that matter, over the last 7 days. So yeah, a little bit irritating, but we have to get on with it. Zuma seemed to have a bit of an issue with his ankle last night, so I don't think we'll see him this weekend for the game. Maybe the semi-final second leg, stroke Norwich away, possibly. I do think he was rushed back too quickly. Even David Moyes said in the post-match conference last night that he was struggling. He had to fall over he had to be on the floor a couple of times because of the ankle. Seemed to be hobbling around a bit. So I do think, but I get the reasons why. But I do think it was the wrong decision to play him. It was great. He had a great performance. Don't get me wrong, but I do think it's the wrong decision. Diop is being assessed for his injury, as it appears his injury isn't as bad as everybody first thought, but no real update on exactly what's going on, other than the fact he's still being assessed, and there's no really news other than Ogbona's back doing light training as he has for the last week or so. So this brings us quite nicely round to the starting 11. Are we going to see rotation? 100%. Totally %. We're still in it for the second leg of the semi-final. But I've gone with a lot of changes. David Moyes has mentioned about it a couple of times in the pre-match conference earlier today about the juniors. So my instincts are saying that he's going to make some rotation, and that he may, I'm not saying he will, but he may introduce some juniors into the squad. Not necessarily the starting 11, but probably more into the squad. But I hope that this is the starting 11 that we're going to get to see against Arsenal. Fabianski in goal, with a back four of Soufal, Johnson, Elise and Creswell. Souček and Noble in the defensive midfield positions, with Fredericks, Chesters and Fornals in midfield, supporting Yarmolenko up front. So thank you very much for your time, guys. I appreciate how long I've waffled on about this, as I always do. Put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on this. Give a video a like if you've enjoyed it. I always want to know what starting 11 you guys want to put out, what your predictions are as well, for that matter. Do you agree with that we can see some juniors? Let me know in the comments. We will of course have the full-time thoughts coming up on Sunday evening as well, so keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, guys, have a fantastic bank holiday weekend, and I hope to see you very, very soon. All the best now. Take care.